Welcome back to another episode of College Hockey Talk. On today's episode, I'm joined by Mercyhurst Freshman Grace Nelles. Welcome to the podcast, Grace, and how's everything going?
Hi, yeah, everything's going pretty good. Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. Thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. Now, obviously, this year's college hockey season was different compared to other seasons in the past. What were some of the challenges you had to experience, and how did you overcome some of those challenges you had to experience this year?
Yeah, well, even just going back to the summer, it was kind of hard to train before coming to university. So that was, I guess, kind of stressful not being able to be necessarily in the gym 24/7 as much as like you'd want to, and on the ice as much as you'd want to. But yeah, you just kind of had to work it out. And yeah, coming here, it was stressful at times with the whole pandemic. But I think our team and the NCAA just in general did a really good job and just kind of making sure that we were all safe. So
Yeah, and you had to deal with a lot of schedule changes throughout this year. What was the key for maintaining flexibility for this season, especially since earlier on in the season you were dealing with a lot of postponements to your schedule?
yeah, that was definitely difficult. But I think just we were so excited that we were able to practice, let alone play, because some teams didn't have the chance to even do that. So yeah, we just took every chance we got to go on the ice, whether that was practice or whether it was a game, and just to, I guess, do our best and yeah, just kind of play hockey, the sport that we love. So it was good. Yeah.
Now, I want to start off talking about the CHA playoffs you were just in. You lost to Robert Morris. Talk about that game and what did you take away from it, especially since you lost in overtime?
Yeah, it was sad, I guess, disappointing. We have a really great group of girls on and off the ice, and obviously we wanted to do bigger and better things this year. But yeah, we played a really hard game. Obviously, not the outcome that we wanted, but we did, really work hard as a team all year, let alone that game. And it's just too bad that that was the deciding factor of our season, unfortunately. But I know we're really looking forward to next year, and I know we got big things planned, and yeah, that's, I guess, just the start. So yeah.
Now, how was playoff hockey different from regular season hockey in your experience?
So yeah, so this was my first ever like CHA playoff experience, and it was awesome. The fact that it was like in Erie as well was really cool. Yeah, just in general, it was I guess obviously high compete level and everything. So it was awesome. Our whole team was really stoked about it. So it was good.
Was it nice having the playoffs in Erie close to your campus, and did that give you guys some advantage in some way?
Yeah, well, we were obviously very, very excited that it was like 10 minutes down the road, and we got to practice there. I guess just like all the other teams, but it was just pretty special knowing that we would be playing for people that were cheering us on in Erie. So it was very special, actually. Yeah, it was cool.
Now, when you look back on this past year, what was the biggest adjustment you had to make to college hockey? Was it the speed of the game, or was it kind of the mental side of the game, making quicker decisions with the puck?
Um, yeah, it's definitely faster just in general. Like plays are a lot faster. Obviously, just the speed of the game is a lot quicker too. I would also say just the physicality of it all as well. There are like older girls obviously in the league, so I love it. Like I love playing physical, so I was all in for it. But I definitely noticed the difference in that area as well.
Now, what was the transition like coming in from juniors to college hockey, especially since this was a year that many of your upperclassmen didn't experience? So, how did you try to adjust to that?
Um, yeah, I guess I just kind of dove in, I guess. Like I wanted to play obviously a lot this year, and with COVID we weren't sure if that was going to happen, but we were just happy that it did, I guess. And I guess I just kind of I just was excited to play and finally get on. And yeah, I guess I was just training hard in the summer.
Now, what was the biggest improvement you made to your game this year compared to last year with Stoney Creek?
I would say probably like just working on my speed and stuff like that. It is a lot quicker, like we were talking about before. So I think although my speed is one of my strengths, I guess you could say, I always find that being faster is something that I always want to improve on. So
Yeah, what did you do during the off season to improve on your speed, especially since ice time was very limited and since a lot of gyms were closed as well?
yeah, so it was actually kind of cool to work out outside, and I did a lot of sprints and fast feet and like agility things like that. I actually got rollerblades this summer, which was really cool. And yeah, and me and Sarah, my sister at home, uh, we would always like go out and stick handle and like work on, I guess, quick starts and things like that. So that was really nice to be outside. I guess kind of be forced to be outside without the gyms necessarily being open all the time. So it was nice. I kind of liked it actually.
Yeah, and how did you adjust to the rollerblades, especially since it's hard to stop and make quick turns?
Yeah, not gonna lie, the first time I went to stop, like I was on the ice, totally forgot about it just because they are so similar to skating, but definitely not stopping. And I fell so hard, and I it was bad, but I don't think anyone saw it other than Sarah, so that was a good thing.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Now, your team had a really good freshman class this year. Talk about the impact that your class had on the team and just how important it was, especially players like yourself, Sarah Boucher, Mary Cromer, Jersey Phillips, and Calista Rowbottom.
Yeah, I thought our freshman class did a really, really good job this year. Kind of on and off the ice, like we're really hard workers, I guess, in the classroom and also on the ice and in the weight room. And I think coming into a program with such great upperclassmen as well really pushed us to, want to be out there, want to make a difference and contribute to the team as much as we could. And yeah, I think we did a really good job doing that this year, which was good.
Now, was it weird not playing in front of any fans, and was that an adjustment for yourself?
Yeah, it was something to get used to, I guess. I think our team tried to make the most like energetic atmosphere as we could, just cheering on the bench and stuff like that. Yeah, it was better once we got used to it. Like it definitely could have been worse. I'm just glad we got to play, I guess.
Yeah, talk about that energy you guys try to brought on the bench because we're watching some of your games this year. Whenever there was a block shot or a nice play, you guys went crazy in the bench. Is that something you guys try to work on during games?
We definitely focused on trying to keep the energy up on the bench no matter what, like little plays, because the little plays are kind of what count the most, I think. And I think our team really bought into, let's say someone blocked a shot, like that's a big play, and it might be small in someone else's books, but our team really liked to celebrate the little things. And I think that was a huge momentum push in a lot of our games as well, when we did bring the energy up on the bench. So I think it was good for us.
Now, something else that was introduced to college hockey this year was 3-on-3 overtime. What was that like for yourself, being an offensive player and having more space on the ice and having more opportunities to have offensive chances?
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely something that is very good for offensive players. I know we won in overtime. Uh, on with 3-on-3, and I remember Pinto grabbed the puck and came down, scored on a breakaway. Like she's got incredible speed too, so it's it's good for offensive players. 100%. It's very exciting out there. Yeah.
Yeah, and talking to other college hockey players, they were telling me how you have to be more defensively minded during those 3-on-3 overtime situations because if you make one little defensive mistake, it can cause an odd man rush. Is that something you noticed when you were in those situations?
Yeah, it's definitely I guess a lot of pressure when you're out there, but I think our team really um, yeah, I guess stood up to the pressure. We were excited about it. We practiced 3-on-3 a lot, so we were excited to finally, I guess, put it into play.
And I want to transition and talk about the beginning of your hockey career. You're from St. Anne's, Ontario.
Yeah.
How did you start playing hockey and falling in love with the sport?
Yeah, I guess I was pretty young. I think I was 4. My sister, Sarah, she played before me, and I just remember watching, and I wanted to be out there with her and competing against her, playing with her, like however I could get out there and just kind of be with her. I just wanted to do what she was doing. So yeah, I guess that's kind of how I started.
Now, who was your favorite player growing up?
Um, Growing up, probably Sidney Crosby. Yeah, probably Sidney Crosby.
Yeah, was it because of the goal he scored in the Olympics? Did that kind of inspire you to start playing hockey even more, or at least pursuing it?
Yeah, definitely. Uh, any any of the goals that he scores are pretty cool, but that one's obviously very special with being a Canadian. And yeah, that I remember that we were sitting in our living room and we were just going nuts. It was awesome. Yeah, that's something I'll remember for a while for sure.
Now, what was your reaction when he tried to attempt the Michigan later this year or earlier on this year in the NHL?
Yeah, honestly, I feel like he's a player that just pushes boundaries all the time, and I think it's awesome that he tried it. I'm sure he'll get it the next time. Like he's awesome. He's great.
Now, before Mercyhurst, you played for the Stoney Creek Sabres. How did you get the opportunity to play with that organization?
Um, yeah, so I played boys hockey before. I played a year in St. Catharines, which is a town close to me as well. And then yeah, I guess I went to Stoney Creek. My sister was there, and then I stayed there all throughout my minor hockey career, mostly up to junior. So yeah, I was glad I made the choice to go there. It's a great organization for sure.
Now, in Stoney Creek, you played with many wonderful players, and some of your players that you played with Stoney Creek are now your teammates with Mercyhurst. How did playing with those type of players help your development in hockey?
Um, yeah, I guess just even with Sarah, playing up with her or playing or watching Vasco or Marmon was was really inspiring. And I remember watching Korzak as well, like just flying down the wing and like just wanting to be either playing with them or wanting to play like them. And even just getting the chance to play with them now as a senior class is really cool, I guess, looking up to them when you were younger.
Now, what was your favorite memory you've ever had with Stoney Creek?
Um, hmm. Yeah, I don't know if I have like a single favorite one, to be honest. I have a lot, but I think just like the friendships that I made there are just like lifelong, like family friendships. Like uh, obviously people that I play with even here, I feel like we'll be friends for a really long time. So I think it just created a really family environment. So it was really nice.
Now, how did your time in Stoney Creek help prepare you for college hockey?
Um, I would say just in general, just how they pushed you to be the best that you can be. And I think if you ever needed help with anything, they were there for you on or off the ice. So that was really great. And and yeah, just I think just pushing you to just be the best that you can be all the time was something that I've brought here, I guess.
Now, you also played for Team Canada in last year's World Championships. What was it like getting the opportunity to represent your country in that tournament?
Yeah, it's a complete honor. I was super grateful for it. I guess I worked extremely hard to get there, and when I was there, it was an honor. It was super fun to play with girls that I never played with across the country. So it was great to make friendships there and obviously play really great hockey. It was something I'll never ever forget.
Yeah, and what was the selection process like for making that team?
Yeah, it was a big process, I guess. There's the August camp in Calgary, and then there's the 3-game series, sorry, against the U.S. Right after that, and then in November they select the Worlds team, and then Worlds was in December this year. So it's it's a long process, but it's so exciting, and obviously it's nerve-wracking, but I guess you just gotta believe in yourself and just keep working hard throughout the season to make it where you want to be in December, I guess. So
Yeah, where were you when you found out you made the team? What was your reaction?
yeah, I was at home. I think I just finished dinner. We were just kind of cleaning up, and yeah, I got a phone call, and I was super excited. I couldn't wait. I wanted to start packing right then and there, go on the ice. I was, yeah, lost for words. It was awesome. Yeah.
Now talk about what it was like playing hockey in Slovakia, and what was the coolest thing you got to do when you were down there?
Yeah. Probably the coolest thing was just like walking into the rink with like my team. It was just, I guess, kind of a surreal moment. We worked really hard before the tournament, and just walking in and knowing that that's where you were going to be, playing awesome teams and being an awesome team. And yeah, it was just super exciting to just be there with everybody, I guess. We did some sightseeing. It was during Christmas that we went, so I guess the culture there was really really cool. Yeah, with all like the Christmas shops open, and yeah, we traveled there with a couple of our teammates and stuff like that. So it was really really fun.
Now you won a silver medal in that tournament. What does that medal mean to you? And talk about what you learned during your experience in that tournament.
Yeah, that silver medal, like obviously it's awesome, and something that I'll cherish forever. It's just that whole experience um, is something that like I'll never ever forget. But yeah, just in general, that experience was, very very exciting, and I hope to be there again. And yeah.
Now talk about your recruitment process and what made you want to go to Mercyhurst, and when did Mercyhurst come on your radar during your recruitment process?
Yeah, so I guess visited a couple schools. Mercyhurst was one of them. I loved the campus. Sarah was already committed here, my sister, and I just knew kind of in my heart that I wanted to be with her for as long as I could playing hockey. So um, that was a big part of it. But also I knew that coming here would, give me great opportunities on the ice and uh, in school. So it just seemed like an overall really good fit. So yeah.
Now, what's it like to play under Coach Mike Sisti, and what have you learned under him so far?
Yeah, coach is awesome. He's obviously very experienced in his hockey. He's won like 500 games. He won this season, so that's a huge accomplishment. And just being a part of a couple of those wins even is awesome. So yeah, he's great. He teaches us to just stay together and be all in. And yeah, he's a great coach, and it's been a good first year as well under his coaching. So it's been awesome.
Yeah, was it cool as a player to see him witness him winning his 500th game? Because that's an amazing accomplishment. I think there's only two coaches right now in college hockey who have
Mhm.
that.
Yeah, it's a huge accomplishment. We all celebrated when he came in the room. We like surprised him and cheered and everything. There wasn't a whole bunch that we could have done with COVID, I guess. I think we wanted to do more, but we tried to make it as special as we could to say congrats. And yeah, it's huge. We're really proud of him. It's great.
Now, what's it like to play in the CHA and just the competition you face every night? Because it's obviously a smaller conference compared to other conferences in college hockey.
Yeah, every game you got to be on. I guess you have your rivalries, but every night is a different night. Uh, a potentially different outcome. So I think each game, let alone each year, is going to be different. So yeah, I guess just bearing down and focusing on one game at a time, no matter who it is really important in the CHA for sure.
Now, how have you balanced academics and hockey at such an elite level, and how has online school been like for yourself?
Um, yeah, balancing it is tricky at sometimes, I guess, but it's definitely something that I'm used to, I guess, with even just playing minor hockey. And yeah, I wouldn't say it's definitely doable for sure. So balancing it is just something that student athletes just have to learn to love, I guess. And I really enjoy school. I enjoy learning. So I guess I just enjoy being organized and trying to balance it all.
Yeah, I heard Mercyhurst is doing like a hybrid type learning. How's Zoom and how's it trying to balance the hybrid learning versus like the Zoom learning, I guess?
Yeah, I would definitely prefer to be in class. Of course, I think a lot of students would be. But online, I guess I've gotten used to it. There's benefits to it even with it being online. So um, yeah, it could be worse. We could not be here. So that's just what I keep thinking. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I definitely prefer in-person learning just because I think you get more out of a class when you're in person because you have that face-to-face interaction with your professor.
Mhm.
However, talking to other student athletes, they were saying how online school has actually made it easier to balance their schedule because you can just go to class and just not have to go to different parts of campus.
Yeah, I our campus isn't very big, I guess you could say, and a lot of my classes are in one building, just like in the science building, I guess you could say. So I haven't found it too big of a difference, but definitely I would understand students on like a bigger campus. That would definitely make sense for sure.
The only thing I don't like about Zoom is the breakout rooms they occasionally put you in just because it's super awkward. No one has their microphones on and it's hard to get work done. Is that something you've realized or am I just the only one?
Yeah, definitely in certain classes, it's nice to be lucky enough to go in like a breakout room with like one of your teammates or one of your friends that like you kind of know around campus because then it's like less awkward. But I don't know, someone's got to break the silence, so you just kind of unmute and go from there.
Yeah, no, I agree. That's just super awkward, especially when no one talks and you just wait like for 5 minutes and then it's like, all right, I guess I have to talk just so we can get something done.
Yep. I know it is very weird for sure.
Now I want to ask you about some of the teammates you get to play with. The first one is Alexa Vasco. What's she like as a teammate, both on and off the ice, and talk about the leadership she's brought to your team this year.
Yeah, her as a leader is incredible. Like on and off the ice, she works so hard, and yeah, just as a person, even she's a great teammate, great person, and yeah, coming in here, she's really led the way for I think our whole team, but obviously our freshman class as well, and just kind of showing us what the standard is and what we need to work towards because she's great. Yeah, she's an amazing leader for sure.
Now you also get to play with Sarah Boucher. What's she like as a teammate, and talk about the offensive ability she has because she scored so many goals this year. It was crazy.
Yeah, no, I'm super proud of Boosh. She's really uh, found her way, which is awesome. She's got a wicked shot, super hard shot. Uh, yeah, she's super talented. She's one of my closest friends here, and she's also a great person. So it's awesome to have her as a teammate.
Now she played with Oakville. Were Oakville and Stoney Creek rivals, and is it kind of cool being her teammate now after being rivals in juniors?
Yeah, yeah. I think in the PW, we kind of had a lot of rivals, but yeah, I would say probably Oakville was one of our biggest competitors, and I I grew up kind of playing against her, and it's nice to finally be on her team because playing against her was definitely hard. So definitely having her abilities on your team is very good.
Now the final teammate I want to ask you about is your sister, Sarah Nellis. What's it like to be your teammate in college, and talk about what it's like to play with a sibling in college as well?
Yeah, having her on the team is awesome. It's everything that I've always wanted. I guess we're 2 years apart, so we've never actually played on an actual team together. So it's been amazing just even to go to lunch with her here, just to have her here at university, let alone seeing her every day at the rink and training with her and going out for extra ice and just kind of messing around is really incredible, and I'm really grateful for it. She's obviously awesome, and she's my best friend, so I'm really glad she's here and that we're here together.
Yeah, and how has she helped your transition into college hockey? And has it been easier having her in Mercyhurst with you to help you through that transition, especially this year with the whole pandemic going around?
Yeah, well, not being able to go home is hard at some times, I guess, not being able to see family, but she's obviously a huge part of my family. So having her here is definitely makes it a lot easier, I guess, with missing home. So yeah, she's awesome, and and it's definitely nice to hang out with her here. So it's good.
Now, is there any sibling rivalry that you guys have during the season, or was there any sibling rivalry you guys had before when you like were kids and stuff? Because being a sibling myself, being the younger sibling myself as well, you definitely have to experience that at some point.
Yeah, definitely growing up, I always wanted to do what she was doing or maybe do it better, or we definitely do have a competitive edge, but I have to admit, like, I want the best for her, she wants the best for me, so and we're totally different, hockey players and different people, so it's I think it's a perfect mix, with wanting what's best and also wanting to beat her in a 2-on-2 drill. We definitely push each other, but yeah, and at the end of the day, we're always there for each other, which is, I think, great. I think it's perfect. Yeah.
So we're now in the non-hockey segment of the podcast where I ask you some non-hockey questions. My first one is, what music do you like to listen to before a game or just on a general basis?
Before a game, I kind of listen to everything, just kind of whatever gets me pumped up, I guess. But just kind of when I'm hanging around, probably country right now.
Nice. Who's your go-to artist?
Um, uh, Maybe Eric Church, Morgan Wallen, Sarah kind of got me hooked on both those guys. So yeah, they're great.
Now, what is your biggest pet peeve?
Um, I don't really know, honestly. I don't know if I have like an obvious one, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine's probably bad drivers because especially here where I'm from, sometimes there's a lot of them and it can get pretty frustrating, especially since when you need to go someplace and there's just a bad driver, it just really bothers me. So that's probably mine.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that does make sense.
Now, what is your favorite outdoor activity, especially since the weather's getting nicer?
Um, I probably rollerblading. I love it in the summer because you can, get better at the thing that you want to get better at, but also it's so much fun to do, whether that's with friends or just by yourself too. So,
Now, was last summer the first time you rollerbladed, or did you rollerblade before that?
I had some. I don't know. I had some rollerblades when I was like little, but I don't think I even used a hockey stick with them. I just pretty much skated and then crashed. So these are definitely uh, to help with training in the summer, and yeah, I love them. They're awesome. Yeah.
Now, if you could have lunch with anyone in the world, who would it be and why?
Um, Probably Michael Jordan. Um, I'm not really sure why. He's so inspiring to me, I guess. And I think he would just be incredible to listen to and get some insight on his competitive mind, I guess.
Yeah, no, I see the logo in your room. Are you a big basketball fan?
Uh, yeah, I like watching basketball, but there's just, I don't know, something about Michael Jordan that I just find is really, I guess, inspiring and motivational. So I like to, I guess, look to him for motivation sometimes.
Definitely, definitely. Did you get the chance to watch the Last Dance documentary last year?
I did, yeah. That was so awesome to watch. Just, I guess, a little bit of insight on his life and the Chicago Bulls was really fun to sit down and watch. Yeah, it was cool.
It was cool also to see the behind the scenes of the basketball team, especially in the 90s, because you normally don't get that for older basketball teams. So I thought that was really interesting. And I also love there was one point during the documentary where he was talking about being trying to be a good teammate and how he really pushed his teammates to be as successful as they can be. And he said sometimes people might look at it in a bad way, but he never saw it that way. And I really thought that was the most interesting part of the documentary.
Yeah, there was a whole bunch of interesting parts, but that was definitely one of them for sure. Yeah, the behind the scenes footage of that whole documentary was like just insane. Like
Mhm.
I don't know if they even do that for teams right now, let alone years ago. So it was really cool. I loved it. Yeah.
And the quality of the footage was still pretty good too, especially since it was filmed in the 90s. That was the another surprising part of about the doc as well.
Yeah, I thought it was great. Yeah, I loved it. It was good.
Now, I want to ask you about some of your teammates. First one is who is the funniest on the team?
Um, Probably my roommate, Mary. um, Maybe Paige, my other friend as well. Yeah, we've got some funny characters on our team for sure.
Now, besides yourself, who has the best style on the team?
Oh, probably Jordan Mortlock or Lillian Perot. They're both pretty stylish. Yeah.
Now, final non-hockey question to you is what is your favorite app?
Hmm. Um. Pro- Probably Instagram, I guess.
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, probably Instagram.
Now, back to some hockey questions now. My first one is what should be done to help grow women's hockey in your opinion?
Um, I think just keep bringing attention to it, keep supporting it. I think eventually, I know a lot of people are advocating for this is having one professional league. I think that's really important to keep striving towards. And I think also just kind of keep paying it forward. Like this generation of female hockey players is doing a great job with advocating for female hockey, for younger generations. And I think every female hockey player just needs to keep doing the same thing. Just keep fighting for, yourself, but also players that are, who deserve more than maybe what we're getting right now. But I think it's honestly headed in a really positive direction. So I think it's getting better.
Now, how have you personally tried to help the younger generation grow women's hockey?
Yeah, I think just supporting the people that are doing the most right now is really important. Um, and also just again just kind of paying it forward, just trying to make sure that um, younger generations will have a better situation than we do. And again, I think it is getting better, but obviously we've still got a ways to go. But I think just keep supporting um, people who are making the most impact right now.
Now, what advice would you give younger players trying to make D1 college hockey?
Um, I think just love the game that you play and just keep working hard and keep believing in yourself because I think that's the most important thing is just believe in yourself and what you can do, um, and pretty much just don't stop where you think you can. Just keep going, keep pushing past obstacles and boundaries. Yeah, I think there's a lot to it, obviously, but yeah, I think it's important to believe in yourself.
Now, do you have any shout outs you'd like to give to any of your teammates, friends, or family members?
Yeah, my whole team this year has been fantastic. So shout out to them, and my family is the best. They're my biggest supporters ever. I wouldn't be anywhere without them. So yeah, shout out to them as well.
Well, thank you so much for coming on, Grace. I really appreciate it. It was a pleasure getting the chance to meet and talk with you today. Stay safe and good luck for the rest of your school season. And you're one of the most underappreciated players, in my opinion, in the CHA. So hopefully this podcast gives you some more appreciation in the college hockey world. And I really admire your game a lot.
Yeah, thank you so much, and thank you so much for having me on as well. It was awesome to talk to you.
Thank you. Now, before I let you